I'm on a job search right now, kind of. So I'm applying to modeling agencies, and well, just because you get signed to a modeling agency doesn't mean you have the job. After you get signed to a modeling agency, you still need to go to casting calls to get booked for the actual job. So getting signed to a modeling agency is actually just the first step. I'll be very honest, I'm actually filming like I've just finished filming episode 18 of the series documenting my job search right now, but I figure that I do need to go backwards in time to explain how I even got to episode 18. So I'm gonna recount the story of what happened 6 months ago. So right now, as I'm recording this is August 2025, and I'm gonna share with you this experience I had back in February 2025, where I had makeup lessons, hair and makeup lessons with celebrity makeup artist Louis Duque. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Sorry if I butchered it, Louis. So to go back in time and explain why I even took makeup lessons from Louis. The reason why I took makeup lessons is because back in 2023, I did a photo shoot with Peter Hurley, and Louis was the makeup artist, hair and makeup artist for that shoot. I paid Louis $400, and I loved it. To be honest, like I never felt so beautiful in my life, and I really, really loved how the photos came out. I felt like I looked like a celebrity, well, because he was a celebrity makeup artist. I didn't know this before he worked on me. I found out after, when I actually Googled his name, that he did the makeup for Steve Jobs, that iconic black and white photo of Steve Jobs with the turtleneck. Yeah, he did Steve Jobs. He's done Mariah Carey. He's done the Royal Family of Morocco. He did the makeup for Sex and the City, the movie. And he's done like a whole bunch of other celebrities that I know they're celebrities, but I'm not really up to date with pop culture. I don't really watch TV and movies. So while I know they're probably famous, I don't know who they are, right? So if you want to know who else he's worked on, you can go on his website and check it out yourself. But yeah, anyway, I really liked the makeup. And then the thing is, though, those photos were used for this podcast, the podcast tour that I did. I did 130 interviews for podcasting. And then I needed to design my website. The problem is the photos were shot so far forward. Like all the photos were basically headshots. So they were shot basically from my collarbone and above. But to design my website, I needed full length body photos, right? Photos of me standing, photos of me sitting. So basically the photos that I paid a lot of money for in 2023, they were like kind of useless for my website, because when we put those photos on my website for a part of the web design, basically it was like a zoomed in pictures of my face, and it just didn't work. So I had to do another photo shoot all over again in 2024 with my friend Ling Shuang. She's based in, was it Tampa? Yeah. So yeah, I had to like fly all the way down to Tampa to do a photo shoot with my friend Ling. And she gave me a really good price. That's the best thing. But the thing is, because I traveled to a smaller city, I had a really difficult time finding someone who did hair and makeup exactly how I liked. I looked up like every hair salon in Tampa, didn't really find ones that I was in love with. I opened every single like makeup professional website, and mostly it was wedding, and I'm not looking to do wedding makeup, but like that's pretty much what I was limited to, like really creative, far out there makeup or wedding makeup. So in the end, I had to like contact a wedding makeup artist and ask if she could do the makeup for this shoot in 2024. So I paid, this time I didn't pay so much. I paid $78 for the haircut, and style. And I paid, what was it? $130 for the makeup. So I paid like half as much. I paid $208. I paid half as much. But the thing is, I wasn't, and I looked good. I won't deny that, I looked good. But the thing is, I wasn't absolutely in love with the result, because the makeup artist, I guess because I went down to Florida and like people really like the tan. They really like the tan look. I don't like the tan look, but she put like a foundation that was a bit darker on my skin. So of course, I looked a bit tanner. Like my face looked tanner than my body in the photos when they came out. They didn't match. So I wasn't happy with that. And I also wasn't happy with the way she contoured me. Well, I'm still cute, but I just felt like the look was different, okay? It just had a different look. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just really, really, really loved the way Louis did my makeup. And then here I am in February of this year, 6 months ago, right? What happened? So I was in modeling school. And the modeling coach told me to participate in a beauty pageant. The beauty pageant is in April, right? So 2 months. I looked at the beauty pageant requirements. I had to do another photo shoot. I was like, oh my God, at this rate, I'm doing at a minimum, right? 1 photo shoot a year. This stuff costs money. Right? It's expensive. And I was just like, what? I'm shelling out all this money to pay like professional photographers to take my photo. So anyway, so for the beauty pageant, I needed to have 2 headshots to submit to the pageant. So here I am, like, I have 2-year-old headshots from back then, but I can't use them because they're not current. I have to get new headshots done. And I'm thinking, oh my God. I have to pay a makeup artist and hairstylist again. I have to shell out like minimum $200, maybe $400 again. I don't want to do it, This time the photographer that I found is based in Boston, right? Louis is in New York. So, first of all, I can't ask Louis to drive all the way to Boston to do my makeup. So I'd have to look for a hair and makeup artist that I like in Boston. There's that. So there's the logistics of it, right? And then the other thing is on the day of the pageant, right? On the day of the pageant itself, who's gonna do my hair and makeup, right? Am I gonna pay Louis to drive all the way to Connecticut to do my hair and makeup for the pageant? No. Am I gonna have to like go to a hair salon first and then like go to a makeup artist and then show up at the beauty pageant? Like, how is this gonna work logistic-wise? It's just too much work. I was really tired in the Florida photo shoot I had because when I had to do the shoot in Florida last year, I had to drive first to the hair salon for a 9 o'clock appointment. And then I knew my makeup appointment was at 10:30. So I'm like, oh my gosh, is she gonna be able to like wash my hair in time, cut it, style it? Thank God I made it to like the makeup appointment at 10:30 on time. But then even after that, no time to eat, right? No time to eat. Just go straight to the studio to get my photos done. We took photos, I think, from 11:30 a.m. all the way till probably 5:30 p.m. I was dead tired. So I'm thinking if I could like cut some of that time as well, logistically, driving from place to place to get my hair and makeup done, that would be great. So finally, back in February, in preparation for the beauty pageant and like taking the photos for the pageant and the pageant itself, I thought, instead of paying between $200 to $400 every single time I need to take my photo professionally, why don't I just pay Louis to teach me how to do my own makeup? That way I can control what my face looks like, and I do it to what I want it to look like. I think that's the best idea, right? So I reached out to Louis and he said, okay, $400 per lesson. How many lessons do I need to get good at this? And he said, well, I would say between 3 and 5. But that's like a big difference, right? That's like between $1,200 to $2,000. That's like an $800 spread right there. And so I had budgeted to go down to New York for 5 days because it's going to be like 5 days worth of makeup lessons. But I was really, really hoping that I could do my makeup well enough that I would need only 3 lessons. That's what I'm banking on. And in the end, I only needed 3 lessons. So that's the good news. I only paid for 3 lessons. I didn't need to pay for 5. And I gotta say, I think the benefit of, well, why was I able to do it in so few classes? Because he said I was a really quick learner. He said most women do not learn in 3 lessons. I got it down pat in 3 lessons. He said I was very lucky in that regard. I think the reason why is because I actually took makeup lessons 3 years prior to having lessons with him. I had makeup lessons with Katrina Hess on Newbury Street in Boston. I had 3 lessons with her. So I've had like practice in the basics, because when Louis sat me down for the lessons, he was like, basically, first of all, Annie, show me what you know. Let's start with what you know, so I don't teach you the basics, right? So he had me put on my foundation and all that stuff, the basics. And he said, I actually did the basics really well. I've got it down pat. It was perfect. So we could move on to more advanced stuff, which was like the eye makeup and the contouring and curling my hair as well. So that's the benefit. I got makeup lessons from someone cheaper first for the basics. So maybe you want to try that before you actually go pay more money for a celebrity makeup artist to teach you. And then what else? Oh, the other thing I learned from Louis was that you actually don't need a lot of makeup. So I brought this whole box. This is my makeup. This is all the makeup I own. And I brought everything with me. I even brought all the brushes that I had. You should do that when you go to makeup lessons. Yeah, so let me see. I don't have expensive makeup. I really, really don't. Let me pull this out. You know, I really like the Milani brand. Milani. Cheap stuff. I think this is like under $15. Cheap stuff. This is my favorite foundation. I really like Milani because it's like they have good pigment, but they're cheap. I like, you know, drugstore kind of makeup. So I think I also spent only $15 on this foundation. Like, why do women have to spend $50 on a bottle of foundation when like a $15 bottle will do just as well? My mascara is also Milani, right? Cheap stuff, all right? So I brought all this stuff. I remember this one. How much is this? This is Dior. This was expensive. I think this is like a $50 lipstick, and I almost never wear it. Why? Because my favorite lipstick is Milani. This is the red lipstick I wear in every video, well, almost every video. It's the red flag, and I just like cheap makeup. It works just as good, looks just as good. I can't tell the difference between the expensive stuff and the cheap stuff. They look the same to me. So anyway, I brought all my drugstore makeup and everything to Louis, and he looked at my products. He was like, yeah, you're pretty much all covered. The only thing he said that I was missing from my collection was black eyeshadow. So he said I had to get like shimmery black eyeshadow. Like that's just a single palette. I have a big trouble finding. I don't like this product. I bought this on Amazon, but I have a lot of trouble finding like just simple black eyeshadow. So if someone knows where to buy that, let me know. But yeah, he said the only thing I was missing from my collection was basically that, and I pretty much had everything else. And he told me that the drugstore stuff works just as good. They're not any different from the high-end stuff you can get at Sephora or MAC or any Ulta, whatever. They're the same stuff. You know why? He told me that he was doing the makeup for, was it a makeup manufacturer owner? And he said that person told him it's all the same stuff. Like, it's just different packaging, different marketing, but like pretty much the formula is the same. They're made at the same factories. It's the same formula. The difference is the packaging. I would say the difference is also the fragrance. Fragrance affects how people perceive a brand. And then the other difference is the marketing. So that's why he said, good for me to have, you know, these products and not pay a lot. So that's something I learned from Lewis. And then another thing is, what else? Oh yeah, he taught me like 3 different looks, and I showed the photos to my friend, and she told me that I look like a different woman in every photo. So I'm just gonna like put those photos here on the screen, and you let me know if they're different. What do you think? I do feel like I look like a different woman in each because he taught me different looks. That's a good thing. And the important thing I would say that I got out of this experience is that it's not about the product. You know how on YouTube you watch videos of women putting their makeup on and they're trying to sell you a product. They're saying like, well, I'm using this eyeshadow and, you know, this thing for my eyebrows, whatever, this lipstick, and if you buy this product, you'll look gorgeous like me. And then you buy the product and you're just like, why don't I look gorgeous like that woman that I saw on the internet? It's not the product. I'll be very honest. It's a technique. It's a technique. So what I really think every woman should do is they should actually, you know, sure, you can learn how to do your makeup from the internet, but you can only learn so much. At some point, I feel like if you want to look good on a daily basis, just fork down the money and pay a professional to teach you exactly what the techniques should be for your specific face. Just do it. You'll thank me later for this advice, all right? It'll save you the frustration. The makeup artist is going to teach you how to enhance your natural features and also tell you exactly what it is about your face is the most beautiful aspect of your face. Apparently for me, they told me it's my lips, right? So we really enhance the shape of my lips with nice coloring. Yeah, I really think so. I truly believe that's the best way to go. It's to learn the skill of doing your own makeup. And if you learn how to do it, you won't have to keep forking over money for a professional to do it at your wedding, for instance, or the next party you go to. I don't know. Yeah, another thing is, look, so I found out that I was featured in these books. So apparently Jim James wrote about me in his book, The Unnoticed Entrepreneur. And then Jenny Townsend wrote about me in her book called Stroke It as well. And so I need to do another photo shoot again so that I could get professionally made photos of me holding their books for marketing purposes. So I think the fact that yeah, I'm gonna have to do a photo shoot at least once a year, probably, because of the way my career is going, and paying between $200 to $400 per photo shoot every single time, the costs just add up. So it's just way cheaper for me to do my own makeup because I know how to do it. So long-term wise, save your money, just learn how to do it from a professional, and then, you know, then you don't have to just look good for just one day. You know how to look good for the rest of your life. That's my advice for today. I suggest you get makeup lessons, and then stick around for the next video. I think the next video I'll be, I don't know yet, but I think I'll be talking about my experience of getting the photos taken. Yeah, my experience of getting the photos taken with a photographer in Boston for my modeling portfolio. So stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video.